Hello there everyone and welcome back to the next Rhen mock update video. There's a ton of progress in this video. I started to implement a lot of the designs for the platforms and buildings that I've been kind of thinking about for the past few episodes. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, here we are guys, the start of the next episode here. And what I've started to do was lay out kind of some plates all over the place here, especially over here, to try to show you guys what exactly I'm thinking here. So here are the steps that are kind of leading up to that large building that I was speaking of. So I've been messing around with those and more of a wall right here, and then trying to figure out how to connect all these different things, because a building will go on top of there, maybe like a ruined building, and then we have the larger building kind of on top of this one. So lots of stuff to figure out here, but here's what I've got for the start of it. I've just got kind of a masonry wall right there, along with some new steps right there as well. Nothing too crazy. And those will lead up to that main tall building right there. And there's the masonry wall. And I've got to figure out, the hardest part right now is these different heights. So you can see how tall that is. And if I wanted to do steps, because in the game there's lots of steps like those connecting all these platforms, I just don't have enough width on the whole MOC to do that. So I kind of have to figure out a different way to kind of get up to this height, whether it be a ladder or kind of terrain that goes up. I'm not really too sure yet. So that's going to be one of the main things I have to figure out for this episode. But I think I'm going to kind of work a lot on this area, and we'll kind of see what I come up with and what inspirations come up. Maybe I'll work on something else, but for now I'm going to start to focus on this area over here. Here's what I've come up with so far for this little area right here. I was kind of trying to figure out what exactly to do for a lot of the floor area kind of these different parts of the platforms. And I'm a little worried that this MOC is going to have way too much light gray, because that's kind of the only color, and that's kind of why I've been doing the accent colors of sand blue. So I tried to go with a dark gray pattern right here. I kind of just wanted to see what exactly that would look like over here. So I might stick with it for now, just kind of and hear what you guys have to say about it. Because I'm wondering if I do a lot of these kind of platform floors as kind of a dark gray pattern mixed in with a sand blue to kind of keep that color palette, if that'll look a little better than just doing another kind of tiled light gray thing, because so much of this MOC is going to be light gray. Another thing that I did as I get in focus here is I did a couple of snow mounds because I really wanted to add some more snow to this area and kind of make it these little snow drifts, kind of using these kind of slope pieces, kind of placing them all over the place. So I have a couple snow mounds. Let me know if you think these look kind of cool. And I kind of am planning on putting these kind of all over the MOC. I think it'll look kind of cool to have these little snow mounds every once in a while. So here's what this area is looking like so far. I think it's looking pretty cool. I just kind of fill in a few more spots here, and I got to figure out what the heck to do over here, because there's a lot of different things I could do to try to lead it up into this spot right here. But here's what we've got so far for this little area, and definitely let me know what you think about the color palette, if I should use the dark gray kind of patterns like this, or if I should stick with light gray. But I'm really wanting to do a different color for a lot of the ground area over here, just because I think that'll look better from a kind of a viewing standpoint and not have the whole MOC be kind of light gray. So, all right, I'm gonna get back to work and up to you guys once I have some more progress. And here we go, I've made a lot of progress here. So I did decide to go ahead and make this kind of a roofed area and have a little tunnel under here. I'll show you guys in a second. Compared to making the stairs, I started to make the steps and I just realized the incline was so steep that it just wasn't looking very good. So I went ahead and built the wall back up like this so I could put the plates on top, and then I'll be able to put, you know, a type of building or something on top of it. But here's what I've got for the wall design. I pretty much carried it up top, and then something new that I did was add this little indent right here. So it's offset, I think, 2 studs in the back behind the main wall. There's a little dark gray kind of damaged wall in there as well. And then I've kind of got a crater built on the outside here with some studs and T-slopes to kind of show it kind of broken away, if that makes sense, and using some inverted slopes. I actually think that looks really cool, and I really want to try this out in a couple different spots. I think it gives it more depth, and it solves that problem where I was really worried this is going to be too much light gray in one spot. But if I have these little spots right here where I can kind of go in and make these little indent areas, I really think that would look good. So I might try to do that on a couple more areas throughout the MOC. The other thing I'm working on here is this hallway. So I'm going to make a little door right here. You can see the outline door that's going to go into the hallway right there, and that'll be covered up. And you won't be able to see too much of it from the convention, but here in the videos and the cinematics and stuff, you'll be able to see in there pretty well. So I want to be able to make it seem like there's a hallway kind of goes back, you know, as if the MOC continues, or this building would continue. So you can kind of see what I've got going on in there. I'll kind of show you guys here a little bit of a closer view. But essentially I've got a pillar right there, I've got a torch in there, and that torch is actually using the stud blasters that come in every battle pack. I am missing some of these slope pieces, these kind of arch pieces that I'm using for the main pillar right here, so I'll have to kind of find some more, order some more of those. I'll go ahead and take that off, it's a little bit easier to see now. So here's kind of the pillar design that I'm going with right here. I was kind of looking at the hallways on Rhen Citadel, trying to kind of base a little bit off that. So this is what the other pillar will look like when it gets done, using some masonry of tan, dark tan, and some ingots as well to kind of give it that texture. And then again, those torches using the stud blasters and some flames. And the other side won't be detailed because you won't really see it. I won't be able to get to it that well, and you won't be able to see it at all at the convention. So this wall will be detailed, and then I just need to do a floor design. That's what I'll be working on next. And you can kind of see the pillar design that'll be replicated, so hopefully this area will look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and work on the floor design and the entrance right here, and then I'll update you guys once I get that finished. All right, guys, so I've done a lot of work here on this part of the building. First thing, I did a little bit of an entrance there using some archway pieces, and I think it looks really cool. I definitely want to try to do a little more of those to add some different shapes into this build, and you can kind of see into the hallway back there that I did earlier. I'm really wanting to put some lights in there, so when you do look kind of from this angle over here, you can see a little bit of lights in there and hopefully some cool minifigure action. Next thing that I did was I plated off the top here, so now you can see what the top is going to look like. Next thing I did was start a little bit of a border on top of the wall right here. So I added a couple more bricks high and plates high there, just to give it a little bit of a nice border to kind of connect the two different sections of the wall up onto the plates up here. And it gives it a nice little ruined area where clones can take cover behind and droids as well. So the next thing I need to figure out here is what I'm going to put on top of here. Lots of different ideas. Since this MOC is a little bit different from the game in terms of if I was doing it, you know, if I had like unlimited parts, I'd love to make it a lot wider, because if I made it wider, it'd help a lot with the dimensions and trying to make it, you know, exactly like the actual map itself. But because this is kind of crunched in and narrower, I don't have as much room to make a full-size building over here this way, so I kind of have to figure out what to do over there. So that's what I'm going to work on next and see what I can do. All right, so I've been working a whole lot here on the build. I also installed some of those lights, as you can see, in that tunnel down there, and I also have a new tunnel up top right there. Here's the structure that I've been working on for the building. Nothing too crazy. I didn't want to go with something masonry because I just have so many like masonry parts all over this build so far. I wanted to do something a little different, so here we just kind of have more of a normal building. A couple different kind of archway pillar areas with some dark tan behind there to give it some texture. And if we go in here, you kind of can see a little bit of a wall in there as well. So I've got another hallway down in there to place some action as well, which would be pretty cool. And over here, I've started to mess around a little bit with what I want this to be. I really want to do kind of a rounded part to this building because I don't want it to just be flat and rectangular, because I'll have some other buildings throughout the MOC that'll be more like that. So I've been messing around a little bit with some angles. And then up here, I think I'll just make kind of a ruined area to have some figures battling it out. But here's what we've got for this section. It's looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to work. So what I've done now is that ground design right there. I went ahead and replicated it up top here throughout the whole kind of upper platform here all the way across. I also added in this little platform right here, which I'm actually really liking. I've got a couple snow elements in there as well. So this path kind of leads from the door right there and then theoretically into some other platform or something like that if the MOC was wider. So here's what we're looking at right now. That little path right there I actually do really like. I hope I can add more of those throughout the MOC. So last thing I'm going to do in this episode is kind of work on the roof. I'm going to tile that off, maybe add a few more kind of bricks here and there on the roof itself. And then we should be good to go for this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and work a little bit more on that. But wanted to give you guys a quick update and show you guys that I have completed most of the path right here. So now there's no kind of just plain studs showing. It's now all complete up here, and hopefully you guys think it looks pretty good. All right, guys, I did a lot of work here on the building. I tiled off the roof and also added in a few more spots right there of those kind of patches of snow that I did kind of earlier in this episode. I ran out of those slope pieces, otherwise I would have liked to do more over here, so that's something for another episode when I get some more slope pieces. But same pattern that I'm doing kind of down here, but adding some of those slope pieces. I think it'd be nice to have two more over there. I think that'd be really cool. But up here I've got Mace Windu punching a super battle droid and blasting another droid or slicing another droid with his lightsaber. But I have this snow mound right here that kind of dips down over here into this part of the pathway up here. So the snow kind of is like icy and it's kind of overhanging the little entrance right there, which I think is kind of cool. And then obviously there's going to be lots of spots for cool battles and everything like that with this little pathway up here and all these different entrances and platforms. That's one of my favorite parts of the map, is kind of blasting droids from different platforms and different elevations. So that should be pretty fun. Here's one more look here at some of the hallways. You can see the lights are in there as well. And one more down there. Here's a little bit of a different angle to show you guys kind of what I've been working on this top section, since I've mostly been filming from that other angle. Here's the roof, and there's kind of Some of the plates all over the place. There's kind of the railing design I went with right there as well. So everything's all tiled off and looking pretty good. There's those snow mounds. I'm liking the way the path is looking. It's getting me really excited to set up minifigures throughout the next couple episodes. So lots of progress done on this episode. I've been working really hard on the MOC, so I'm definitely interested to hear your guys' thoughts and ideas on what to add for this part of the MOC. But this part's done right here. For the next episode, I think I'll either be starting to work on the battlefield, and actually, in all honesty, I need to work on this section. So this whole section will probably be the goal for next episode, and then we'll be able to move on to the big building back there. But here we go. This is what I got done for this episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and let's go ahead and move on to the outro. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you did enjoy. Lots of progress in this episode, and hopefully now you can kind of see what I've been thinking about in terms of how to do these different buildings and platforms and how it's going to create lots of cool areas for minifigure posing. So I'm very excited for that. Stay tuned for the next couple episodes, and as always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.